For sim reviews, we all tend to jump on YouTube and go to visit Jimmy Broadbent, Gamer Muscle, Random Call Sign, Sim Racing 604, and all the other great content creators that are there to give us some brilliant reviews of the latest sim platforms. However, are we making a fatal mistake in listening to certain aspects of what they, or indeed our own friends, might feel about a sim platform? Hey, I'm Lewis Bloom. I'm a game developer from the flight simulation side of things and a casual sim racing pleb. Just wanted to make this quick video on the back of a comment currently on screen from a viewer of one of my own videos that essentially kind of brought to light something that we deal with in the flight simulation side of things, and it's definitely here in sim racing too. Now, I want to concentrate quickly on the last little part of Paul's post here. It essentially says, power sliding is a lot more fun and realistic. Well, at least on my cheap ass G923 FFB, so a little budget Logitech wheel, on the expensive wheels might be a lot different. Now, what Paul's done here is hit the nail squarely on the head on something that is so rarely talked about in, at least from my experience, talked about in sim racing. And it's something we definitely have in the world of flight simulation too. The giant white elephant in the room that so few tend to address. Your hardware has a massive effect on your perception of a sim platform. From its core features to the way you set up your rig physically and the way you set it up on the software side of things too. Its effect on how you perceive a given platform cannot be underestimated. It's always worth bearing this in mind whenever you get advice from anyone that's saying that X, Y, or Z game is more realistic, or if any of the fanboys of the various platforms like to tell you that theirs is clearly the most realistic. It should always be added that it's the most realistic, as well as in their opinion, from their sim rig. So just to put a little bit of context into this, we, in the flight simulation side of things, we produce a lot of very realistic flight models that are actually used for flight training, including the armed forces. And we've essentially come to terms with the idea that a flight model produced for a certain rig for the armed forces or for a certain client for flight training might not be suitable for a home user. The home user might essentially lose a lot of the fidelity of the feeling and the way the flight model behaves on the controller itself, because the controller itself will feel very, very different. This, of course, in flight simulation and in sim racing shouldn't excuse massive bugs, but it can help hide or show a whole lot. In modern times, perhaps the biggest example of this in sim racing, outside of iRacing, is that of Assetto Corsa Competizione. If you use a DD wheel in ACC, I think it's pretty much widely regarded now that the experience you're going to have is so wildly different to every other kind of belt-driven, gear-driven wheel. The DD is essentially just better. It just works better with that game. The perception of the game, the realism you get out of that game is very, very much dependent on the rig you have. The FFB just takes such a step up with a DD wheel over a belt-driven wheel that it's almost a different game, to be completely honest. It's a very, very strange situation. So yeah, that's my little word of caution, something to always bear in mind. Never underestimate how much an impact your kit can have on how you perceive a given platform. Obviously, everyone should be having fun with what they think is fun, what they think is real. But yeah, just wanted to get that out there. White elephant in the room. Your controller has a massive impact on how real a sim can feel to you.